TIL that those wounded while fighting in the French Foreign Legion can immediately apply to be a French citizen as they are French by spilled blood. Also interesting that they swear allegiance to the Legion instead of France. When I was in the Navy, Clinton sped up the process for foreign nationals to become citizens if they were serving. My commanding officer jumped on that and did everything he could to get all the foreign nationals' paperwork done. He assigned a junior officer as immigration records officer and really streamlined the process for the 8 or 10 guys who wanted citizenship. Service guarantees citizenship. Would you like to know more? Also, you can become a French citizen by free climbing 5 floors to save a dangling toddler. I joined the Foreign Legion because I wanted to forget. Forget about what? I forgot. 5 years ago I really wanted to join the FFL, one of my mates even went there but didn't get in. I was training hard for it but never got to actually going and applying. Happened to my fiancé, his thoughts on it are it wasn't fucking worth it though, so I don't know, take from that what you will, lol. Having spent an inordinate amount of time a few years ago researching the FFL at a downtime in my life, I feel pretty comfortable saying that those dudes are some tough motherfuckers. Basically everywhere they get stationed is a shithole filled with people and fauna that want to kill them. True, but still kind of complicated. Many old truths, that became myths, have been gradually watered down. ## service guarantees citizenship. Would you like to know more? Not that I'm making any absurd comparison between my program and the Foreign Legion, but when I ran a Muay Thai program in a very hard part of town, police-funded anti-gang thing at youth center, I had shirts printed. You could only get a shirt one of 3 ways: compete for the team, score perfect attendance and no police issues over X time, or shed blood in sparring. Half of these kids, 12 to 18, were street earners and covered in Gucci, New Air Max Weekly etc., but man, they prized those shirts. Any of them who had them, every session, twice a week, they came with the shirt washed, pressed. The non-shirt kids badly wanted them, they were like an aspirational thing. The team logo was a rip of the Bathing Ape logo. Most of these kids went to the same school and other kids who didn't train with us wanted to buy shirts, but our kids policed it hard. If you weren't on the team and you hadn't put in time, shed blood, or carried the flag into the ring, you couldn't have one. End of. I had no idea just how rigorous they would be about it when I threw that little rule set together on the fly after printing the shirts. Very interesting to see. Seems fair to me. Meanwhile, fighting for the British Army as a non-British citizen allows you to be called an illegal immigrant and be ineligible for the NHS. https://www. thaguardian.com/uknews/2020/May/18/ British Army veteran faces 27,000 NHS hospital bill. Does this also apply to bar fights? My friend joined the French Foreign Legion and is now a French citizen since he served for 3 years. It is huge regret of mine I didn't join the Legion when younger. I believe as an experience it would have been invaluable. Alas, I am now too old with too many responsibilities. R/French Foreign Legion is the sub for those seeking for more information. Friend of mine joined the Legion in about 2011. Left Dublin, Ireland without a single word of French. It sounded like hell. Every time he spoke a word of English he'd get a beating from his fellow trainees. Once trained, he was shipped off to the conflict in the Mali as part of the Foreign Parachute Regiment. Returned home a few years later with countless kills in conflict, about 30 pounds heavier with muscle, a badass Le Diable Marche avec nous tattoo, the regiment motto, and also fluent in perfect French. Always love hearing him tell about it. Wonder how many self-inflicted wounds on the edge of battle there were. Most of the Algerian governments since the independence. For anyone who wants to learn more about foreigners serving in the U.S. Army in exchange for citizenship, here's keyword, MAVNA, military accessions vital to national interest. How do I know? Let's just say a friend of mine joined and got screwed over for 5 years. So you see, Pierre my man, when I was fighting in the trenches we made a blood pact, so now I'm French. Oui non baguette. So how do I find the current location of the FFL? Asking for a friend _. My father is 83. He tells me he was planning a cycling trip through Europe when he was a teen, he lived there, and one by one the mothers of his friends made them drop out because they were afraid the FFL would trick them into joining. Apparently a recruiting technique at the time was to get a young guy drunk and then sign them up. No recourse, no age of consent, no going home to say goodbye. Just a hangover and then shipped off to North Africa. Not sure if the lure of French citizenship would have made that experience more palatable. I wonder if this would disqualify you as a US citizen, as if you fight for another country's army, you lose your citizenship. If I am remembering things, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this a loophole, since the FFL claims no flag? Yeah, but then you'd have to be French. Pretty sure it is an entirely different thing, but just found out I can get a Spanish passport. BC ancestors were driven out during the Inquisition. Francais parle sang verse. Service also gives you citizenship though, and a new name if you wish. A lot of people talk about it, but here is an interesting article about someone who actually did it. He was a West Point grad who deserted and joined the FFL. Then he came back to the US. www.rollingstone.com/politics/politics news/ the good soldier why a suicidal officer had to go AWOL to save his life 38057/amp/. Step 1, join the Legion. Step 2, start a fist fight. Step 3, lose a tooth. Bam, instant Frenchman. Meanwhile, it took decades of fighting and public support for the British government to allow families/descendants of Gurkha regiments residency in the UK. After all, they did. We had sailors gain their citizenship while I served in the US Navy during the 1990s and early 2000s. We had a few citizenship swearing-in ceremonies right on the FOCSLE, forecastle, or forward part of the ship. It was a great moment for all of us. Zero sailor cynicism and actual joy at welcoming one of our brothers in arms as a citizen. Loved it? Wait, is the Legion still a thing? Sad that mercenary status grants you a right to become citizen. Killing should never be a path to citizenship. France is fucking metal. I don't want to hear it, Yvonne. I shot you in the leg last month. Now it's your turn to play Viet Cong. So the line from their national anthem Chuan Sang Imper Abreuve Nos Silence, may the common man's blood water our fields, actually has significance. They're already wounded, why make it worse with the whole French citizenship? Sad. Sir, I cut myself with my pocket knife, sir. Je suis français. ##### I'm fighting for he today that sheds his blood for France, shall be a Frenchman. You also can become a French citizen in the Legion if you die. Service guarantees citizenship. Would you like to know more? You can also get citizenship by just being in the Legion for 3 years, without having to get wounded. Brexit loophole identified. Seems reasonable. If you spill blood for a country, regardless of where you actually live, that's pretty legit. They should grant you dual citizenship. Link to the section with the fact, come on. Oh, first time I come across a post about our foreign legion. Fun fact, a lot of legionnaires, or legios as we nickname them, are actually Frenchmen who use a distant relative, often Belgian, Swiss, or German, origins just to be able to serve in the foreign legion. They are tough guys. Shout out to the fact they aren't/weren't allowed on French soil because of a failed coup. Time to spill some blood for France. For those curious to know what it's like in the FFL presently, check out this podcast if you want. Jocko Podcast number 209, The Crafty Rogues of the French Foreign Legion with Legionnaire, Joel Struthers. I highly recommend getting hooked on Jocko Podcast. It just may change your life. Get after it. https://youtube.b/it5msngay